Many people think that the US government is trying to control you. It's evil. They want to poison your body. They want to control you. They're super duper evil. They think every government worker is trying to mind control them, feed me microplastic, and make me into sheeple. Like, why does the worker at the DMV need to see my license, okay? It's mine. You don't need it. Why do I even... Subliminal messaging is the idea that there's a secret message someone wants to get out, so they encode it into songs or other media so they can influence people without them knowing it. The most common way you've probably heard of subliminal messaging is through backmasking, which is where the message is in reverse, and it's thought that your subconscious mind would decode and understand it, but you just be there listening to music like, oh yeah, this is great. There's a lot of examples of backmasking. For example, I see it in one of my favorite songs, Beach Life and Death by Car Seat Headrest.
In the thunder arcs is open. It was the start of nothing new.
It's also an Ozzy Osbourne song called Bloodbath in Paradise.
Your mother self welched in hall.
Even Weird Al's got some, like in Nature Trail to Hell. Another version of subliminal messaging is subaudible messages, where the message is just really quiet or at a low frequency in the background, so you won't even notice it, but your subconscious mind is going to see and go, ooh, someone's telling me that pigeons are just government drones? Okay. And you won't even notice. There's something similar to this with like shows and like other media called subvisual messaging, where it's just really like the opacity of the image is so low that you barely even notice it, or it's shown really quickly. There's some examples of this with subvisual messages are probably seen more common in like advertisements. There's been a lot of examples of like McDonald's flashing their logo, or I was using like one of the Bush campaign videos that said rats right before it said bureaucrats. So like, that's kind of funny. The conspiracy theory around subliminal messaging and mind control go back to Project MK Ultra. It was a human experimentation group managed by the CIA. That was in 1953. They heard that Soviet, Chinese, and North Korean leaders were using their mind control on their American prisoners to spit all their facts out. Like, who's got the biggest dumpy? And like, who did the president have a crush on? Oh my god! They also wanted to create a truth serum that they could use against other leaders and spies that they thought were in the government. They thought the best idea to get the truth out of these people, LSD. They thought drugs like LSD would just control people because it just puts them in such a nice state of tripping. Like, here, take a hit of this, man. Like, oh yeah. Putin likes dudes. Most of the people who were in this project or their test subjects didn't know what they were doing. They thought they were just getting pumped up on drugs for fun, pulling all-nighter parties all day. Most of the people they used in this project and tested on were potential CIA agents and like soldiers, refugees, even some prisoners of war. Basically anyone they had control over. Since they had no idea what was going on, the project was halted in 1973 after 20 years of Project MK Ultra. It was alleged that some of the participants were on LSD for 77 consecutive days. I don't want to know what they were seeing on that shit. It's hard to tell what's real and true about Project MK Ultra because after it was halted, they just destroyed everything. They burned it, then stomped on it, just threw it out. Well, no one can know that we're evil. I guess they still didn't get the results they wanted because they started Project Artichoke after it. Why would you name it that? It's such a dumb name. What's next? Project Salad? Project Carrot? Can these guys get like creative with names? I want like Project Asteroid Earth Destructor. You give me like Project, I don't know, Bloodbath. Something cool. Artichoke? Are you kidding me? So during this stupid little project, they had people who were unaware of what was going on again. They used LSD again. I guess that was like the best thing they had. Testing, despite MK Ultra being stopped, these two projects led to a lot of other projects and operations like Project Chatter, so Yapper, Paperclip, Clippy, what the fuck's going on? Operation Sea Spray. They're just naming like candle scents. Like, I don't want smells, I want something cool. Since the participants had no idea what was going on, it was just a big human rights violation, the government made the Freedom of Information Act in 1977. So if you were working under a government project and you ask someone what's going on, they have to tell you, or at least have to be sort of upfront and be honest with you. A little niche thing here at the end. There's a song called Black Box Warrior by Will Wood. That's from the perspective of an MK Ultra victim. Banger. Love that song. Shout out to Will Wood. Lizard people. No, I'm not talking about fursuits or the Geico Gecko, little scrawny bitch. I'm talking about half human, half lizard people that run the world. Sorry. Some people think that these lizards are like shape-shifting reptile aliens. They got fancy little scales, their little tails, that regrow. Not much is known about these lizard people because they're not real. But many people think they're like running the government and controlling everything. I found this picture on Wikipedia that someone drew about like the comparison between people and lizard people. Bro, put it away! Put some clothes on, damn! Even though people think these are aliens, I still don't really believe it. I still believe aliens are real, but this thing? Nuh-uh. I think cats run the world, okay? I think Amber runs the world. Do I have to show her again, or are you gonna believe me this time? There are many public figures that people think are lizard people, and I've compiled my own list that goes from worse to even more worse of people who I found are suspected to be lizard people. Up first, Mark Zuckerberg. Obviously, I mean, look at that dude. Little freak. Stop lying. Queen Elizabeth, rest in peace, you lizard. Obama, JFK. I guess if you get assassinated, you're a lizard now. Mick Jagger, and lastly, the Nashville bomber. I have no idea why he's on there. There's a bunch of others, but they've probably been too distracted by eating flies to be accused of being a lizard. So I'm gonna move on. Another secret that people think the government's hiding is that the Earth is flat. They think the Earth is just a flat disc and it's got these ice walls around it instead of Antarctica, and we're all just in the center, spinning on this disc. The idea of like a flat Earth was just a really early theory about what or the planet would look like from people who were. They didn't really have the technology we have today to really confirm that it's round, so they just figured it's flat. What I don't get about people that still believe the Earth is flat, even to this day, is what about other planets? Is Mars flat? Is Uranus flat? I mean, turn around. Yeah. I mean the planet, yeah. Is Uranus flat? Is the sun flat? I mean, are we all flat? Are we all just flat Stanley? I think my favorite story to come from flat earthers is the dude who spent $20,000 to prove that it was flat, and all of his experiments proved that it was round. Another popular event that people think the government had a big part of was the moon landing. People think it's fake. The actors, people think it was filmed. People think, oh, this is just the moon on a prop set. The astronauts are just actors. There's no way you could be bouncing around having that much fun up in the moon. There's many theories as to why and how NASA faked it. The first and most popular one is that they did it because of the space race, and they wanted to say they did it before the Soviets. Pissed on the moon, it's mine now! Ah! Some people think it's because NASA wanted to gain popularity and funding so they could go to other stuff, so they could fly around little spaceships and play Space Invaders with themselves. It cost NASA around $30 billion to get to the moon. Damn! Just buy a bunch of cardboard boxes and stack them. That's gotta be less than $30 billion. It's not that hard. I see in cartoons all the time people get like peeked up into the sky trying to little. Some people think America did this to get attention off of themselves because of the Vietnam War and our heinous war crimes. Even now, there's people who think we haven't made it into space yet, and they think the International Space Station and all that stuff is fake. Some people think like, oh, their hair's sticking up, that's hairspray, you can't do that. Like, God forbid people have fun. I want to go on a moon bounce and say I'm Neil Armstrong. The proof, and I put this lightly, that the moon landing was fake includes the fact that there's no stars in the footage that you see. Some of the rocks look weird, there's writing on them. The flag looked like it's blowing in the wind. Now the sun isn't just obliterating their skin off and burning them alive. All of this proof I just said has been disproven already by people a lot smarter than me. But people think, oh, you have a doctorate, you're being controlled by the government. Nah, you're lying. I have some of my own proof that we made it to the moon. You heard of the Weezer Voyage to the Blue Planet tour? For their Blue Album 30th anniversary? I saw Rivers Cuomo step on the moon. I have footage. It's real. Weezer's on the fucking moon.